Welcome to Positive Waves. My name's Matthew Collinson,
I'm Joseph Somma.
and today we are going to talk about tiredness, being tired, just being sleepy, just like think being exhausted from just life in general, I think happens sometimes. What do you think, Joe?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got your various reasons. You could be lack of sleep. You could be, don't like your job and just bored with it. It could be you woke up and did that 5 a.m. gym workout and then to work by 8. There's many reasons for that sleepiness to come on. And you also have that 2 p.m. crash as well, where, around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you just get tired. And
Yeah,
a lot of
for
people
me,
take
it's two to
5 hour energy.
four.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people take those 5 hour energies. A lot of people grab a cup of coffee. A lot of people grab Mountain Dews, and all that is sugars, chemicals, and toxins. I mean, how is that supposed to help, right?
Yeah, I'm a coffee fan for the morning, but I can't do it in the afternoon. Otherwise, it'll keep me up and stuff. But I've recognized that in my body now, and I paid attention to that now, which I think is a smart thing to do. Like what we put into our bodies can affect that.
Oh yeah, yeah, like Mountain Dew. That's that's my kryptonite. Like I've struggled with that addiction for most of my life now, and it's a great tasting, sugary, caffeinated drink. It gives you that quick burst of energy, but it does not last, requiring you to go get another. And that's where the addiction comes in, where it's like you just have to keep going back for more. And obviously, that's not helping. That's just, you know, jacking you up on sugar. So, what kind of ways are out there to help alleviate that tiredness without turning to chemicals?
Mm, it's a good question, man. Like I think that most of us rely on chemicals nowadays, and that doesn't help any. Like I think we're
Well, that's what
becoming
we're
more
taught.
aware. What's that?
Yeah, it's what we're taught. We're
Yeah.
taught, you're tired, go grab a caffeinated drink, go grab a coffee. And it's not always the best answer. I mean, as I told you when I started when we started the Zoom this morning, I'm like, dude, I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. And so what did I do? Grab my sunstone. Sunstone is one of those stones that help bring you a little bit of energy, like you were discussing as well. Get moving. I was telling you, I'm disabled. I live in a lot of pain, so getting up and dancing really isn't my forte. But still, moving the body. If you hurt like I do, you got to find ways that you can move your body. And right now, my shoulders just aren't with it. But I would literally just throw my arms up in the air, way above my head. I don't want my shoulders to pop right now. But getting that blood flowing, getting that heart bumping, and just setting that mindset. If you walk around all day telling yourself, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Well, guess what? You're fucking tired. Stop telling yourself you're tired.
That
Change
is
that
true.
mindset. you know and that's kind of where I am this morning. Another thing I like to do as well is myself Reiki, but I've been so out of sorts this morning I didn't get to my whole morning routine. So
Oh, that always affects me too, dude. If I don't do my
mhm,
morning routine, I get so ridiculous during the day because it's like at first you fight getting into a routine, then you get into the routine, then you love doing the routine. Then it's like an addiction in itself. Like when you don't do it, you're off all day long. And
right.
I've done that same exact thing. Like this morning, I didn't get up for my run that I wanted to get up for because I just couldn't. I was tired as well, by the way. So I'm right with you on that. I've been doing a lot of back work on things. So
It's good I'm not alone.
no, no, and you're never alone. That's what's funny is that's part of it is we're never alone. Like I think that people feel like they have to do it alone, but really that's not accurate.
Right.
You have to be brave, number one, because you have to have the courage to put yourself out there and talk to people about things.
Well,
Should
it's
it
just
always
being
be
human.
related to a bitch fest? No. You should not just always approach people when you're having a bad time. If you approach people and you're having a good time, you'll start to create a good relationship. And once you've created that good relationship, you can take it to the next step. And that is when you do have a hard time, you can bring that hard time to that perspective and get additional perspective, and maybe it will help to alleviate some of that tiredness, stress, or whatever else you're going through when you do that. It's like, I wish people didn't always feel so alone, because I do know the feeling, and that does suck, because we
Well,
all feel that way sometimes.
a lot of that we create ourselves because we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to share our heart's secrets. Like we don't want to just, jump up and say, I'm freaking exhausted today. Like, it's that when I was working that full-time job, I'd go to work every morning and it'd be the same old, good morning, how are you? And if you actually spoke how you are, they didn't really care anyways. It was just, something to say to pretend to be social. And it's, don't ask me how I'm doing if you don't want to hear it, because I'm going to tell you.
That's why it's so cool to transition your questions. What's going great today? What's going well today?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's excited you this week?
Gosh. Oh, manifestations. That's what's excited me. That's a
Okay.
good one. Like, I'm tired of push cutting the lawn. I wanted to hire a service. They're a little bit out of the budget right now. So I told Universe, please help. So the other day, Friday, I picked up a riding lawnmower for free. It's got a broken steering arm and it hasn't ran in years. Well, I was working on it yesterday and I got it running.
Could be part of your stiffness today, huh?
Not really. I didn't sleep well. My evening routine helped stretch out the muscles and all that. Oh, it's mm, a good night's sleep is so important.
Yeah, it
But
is.
but no, I was all excited though, because I got it up, I got it going. I mean, it's running off the starting fluid, so I can hear it run, and I know it's worthy to put a few bucks into it. So I'm looking at maybe a carburetor rebuild kit and a steering arm, and I might be set to cut grass. I don't know if the deck's seized up or anything yet, but it's a process. Plus, to
Nice.
not have to cut the grass and not have to push mow the lawn, I'll be a happy camper. I'll
Right.
have a little more energy. I won't be so exhausted, putting that 10,000 steps in a day.
Mm. See, and that's that's like my goal. I'm like trying to get there, but I
My
get it.
goal is 6. My goal is 6, and I generally hit that every day or get super close. But I think my max is like 19,200. I
Ooh,
did almost
that's a
nine
big
and a half
day.
miles one day.
Yeah, that's a
I
big day.
was I was hurting for a few days after that day. I
I
think
bet, man.
I think that was a carnival day, walking around, the local fair and whatnot with my son, hitting all the rides and all that.
Yeah, that makes
That'll do
sense.
it. That'll do it. But I definitely use my tricks of the trade to keep my energy up to continue moving those steps. I stop a minute, sit on the festival bench, do my self Reiki, and I'd feel energized. I'd be up, be moving, and continue forward.
Yeah, I know that my biggest day for that kind of thing was, or one of my biggest days was, I had dropped my son off at a circus he had joined one day when he went camping. That was a neat call. Uh, so I brought him up to where he was performing, and then I walked around it was a little town up in Washington. So I was just walking around the whole day. I walked like 24,000, 25,000 steps, just dropping in the different bars and other things just to get to, just to get to know the population, see if there's any cool stores and stuff.
Right?
It was so bad. By the end of the day, I was toasted though. But then what that reminded me of was, I know a couple of fellows who work like graveyard shifts and stuff like that, and do like a lot of warehouse type work. And one of them posted their steps one day, and it was like 38,000.
Ooh,
Like, can your body, like, to me, that, like, can you imagine how tired you would be if you were doing that? Like, in my head, that's like insanity. Like, I was done after that day of walking around that town.
well, slam a few monsters and keep going. But that's where the chemicals come in. They keep us up, they keep us moving, they keep us thinking we're doing all right, and it's just, destroying us inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, crap, 38,000. What was that, like 20 miles?
something like that.
20
It's
miles
some
walking.
insane amount.
I mean,
But what do
Right.
those guys do? Like, how are they supposed to find the energy to be able to like do some of this stuff? That's another piece that I would love to touch on because like I know meditation's good, but it's not going to generate energy like the kind of energy that well, maybe it can. I mean, I don't put anything past meditation to be honest with you. It's crazy what it can create within us.
Go back before the invention of cars. People
Hmm.
took horses. If they couldn't afford a horse, they walked.
Yeah.
How how many steps did they walk in a day just to travel to their destination? I mean, they used to talk about, oh, it's a 4 day walk. Okay, you're walking for 4 days to get where you're going. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So, we used to walk everywhere we go. We're built to do this walking. It's just the things going on in the world today have made it easy, have allowed us to be more relaxed on our exercising. We've become literally a push button society. You need something, you push a button. Hey, help. Hey, do this.
Mhm.
Hey, that. It's we don't really do much anymore unless you're working the skilled trades and you're kicking your own ass every day.
Yeah, I feel like we're all going to be like Wally in the future. Wally.
Very well could be.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I know today I sure feel like having a wheelchair to move my ass around. Nice little hovering wheelchair. Take me here. I got to do this.
Yeah, it'll be a Tesla one.
Might be.
That'd be funny. Um, yeah, hover chairs. That'd be a fun experiment. Still want to get one of those drone bikes that you can ride into the sky.
Let's go to Dubai. They're using
Yeah.
them in Dubai. The police are over there.
Well, yeah, but I kind of like my freedoms over here, and I don't feel like I'll be stolen away.
Well, if you get one of their bikes and you can just fly up above the crowd.
I'm wondering what the
That's
FAA is
illegal.
going to do about all that. That's going to be some tough laws there. They're going to have police bikes up there and other things.
Well, if you think about it, we're required to have a seatbelt in our vehicle. What do you do up there? Are you going to be required to have a parachute? Well, how well is that parachute going to work if you're
100
dropping 100
feet.
feet and you need 1,000 feet for a parachute to work or
Yeah.
whatever? I don't know. I've not skydived before.
Right. No, you're right, though. It does take some time for the parachute to open. However, I do think that we'll probably come up with alternatives. I'm assuming they're going to have some kind of safety features going in at some point, like some
I
kind of
got it.
like,
I got it. You know those life vests where you pull the freaking thing and it inflates? You'll have one of those around your body. It'll be a
yeah,
bodysuit. You just pull it and you're just
possibly
eventually
around the
floating
bike
above the
too.
ground. Maybe. Because yeah, you're gonna have people walking below, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's just disaster.
There's so many. Yeah, I know it's gonna be like Star Wars though, and we're gonna be seeing. Choo, 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 choo.
Mhm. Let's hope the technology works properly before the launch.
Yeah, well, you gotta crack a few eggs.
Hmm. Another thing for the energy. I don't know if you know this, but I don't remember his name now. I believe he's a Japanese scientist who did research on water and talking to water and speaking positive to it and speaking negative to it. So you can actually label your water as well to like give you energy or give you healing or give you strength. And I don't fully understand how it works, but I've been doing it here and there with my waters, and I've noticed the days that I do it, I've got what I requested. So that's another thing to increase your energy level. You're drinking good, wholesome water, and you've got it. You've asked it to bring you what you need from it. So hey, I want to fast today. Let's do a water fast. Please, water, make me feel full all day long. You're taking in no, substance other than water, so you're burning off that excess weight or whatever you're fasting for.
Makes sense. I was during my Ho'oponopono certification that I took. Um, they were talking about how if you put water into a like a clear blue jar, vase, something, or
Like a
water
mason jar.
holder,
Like a mason
uh,
jar.
and then you put it into the sun for a couple hours,
Hmm.
and then to charge it essentially, and then you take that and you just drink it like you would. It actually has healing effects as well. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether it's true, and I have yet to get my blue bottle. I keep trying to find one, and I haven't found a good one yet.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the sun charges us, gives us energy. So why wouldn't it do the same for water? I mean, what if the sun's just charging the water molecules within our bodies? So in that thought, it would do the same with a cup of water.
Yeah, and I wonder if different colors would have different effects as well. I mean, if you're going to go that route.
Right? Which I was going to say that as well. I mean, there's so many different properties that different colors bring to the healing world, and I've got the colors of cards. I've got it in one of my books here where they talk about different colors mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good possibility that the different color water bottles could do it.
I wonder. It'd be interesting, but he was like, oh, he was very stiff on the blue color thing. So I don't know what that is or what it is about Ho'oponopono and that, or whether it even comes from that. It was an uh, old guy that was kind of teaching it, who he lived in Hawaii, or he is Hawaiian, small guy, doctor, psychologist, I guess, but interesting fellow.
I'm looking for blue in the book real quick.
Ho'oponopono is another one that helps me increase energy when I feel tired. Like I'll just start doing Ho'oponopono at that point in my head and repeat the phrase over and over until it produces whatever thoughts it produces.
So in The Secret Language of Your Body by Ina Siegel, blue reads, blue creates a sense of tranquility, serenity, and peace by soothing the mind. This color calms nerves, destroys infections, and purifies your aura. It can lead people to their truth and connection with the divine. Mentally immersing yourself in blue rays helps protect you from dense energies and brings you back to your center. It is a color of patience, faith, acceptance, forgiveness, and independence. Blue is good for cooling, calming, reconstructing, and protecting. Physically, blue assists with detoxifying and clearing skin problems and brings blood back to normal when it is inflamed or overactive. Blue also has a calming effect when people feel nervous, manic, or overexcited. It can help an introverted person come out of hiding. Containing antiseptic qualities, blue helps heal burns, stops bleeding, and relieves fevers. Blue also helps to soothe nervous irritations, increases metabolism, and build vitality. Wear blue hues to improve your memory, let go of emotional pain, and connect to your wisdom. Blue can also help to improve your communication abilities, dissolve fear, and give you the confidence to speak up. Blue is also the throat chakra color. Use blue to treat problems such as itching, cataracts, glaucoma, irritable bowel, burns, diarrhea, epilepsy, hysteria, laryngitis, painful periods, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, headaches, rheumatism, shock, tooth and throat issues, ulcers, varicose veins, and sunstroke. Too much blue can leave you cold, tired, depressed, and sorrowful, full, sorrowful. There we go. However, if you suffer from poor circulation, chest infections, asthma, colds, hyperventilation, paralysis, or want to lose weight, reduce your blue exposure.
Interesting.
So, yeah, power of books.
Just drop some knowledge on you guys.
So, yeah, I could see some of that being beneficial for wanting it to be through a blue hue for the water. The calm, the tranquility, and all of that. Who wouldn't want that from a glass of water?
Right. Sounds kind of nice to me. I might have to go really search now. I was hoping to find like something. Maybe I'll go to a yard sale or something and run into one.
Right. Finding an old ball mason jar would be perfect because they have that nice blue to them.
Yeah. Looks like somebody shuffling a deck.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting our card pull for the day.
see what the Rebel deck wants to share with us all today. Oh, that one went flying. Let me go find it. All right. So this one says, you need a good fucking cry.
Again,
Get the ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. That actually sounds like our last one.
we got that one before.
That was our last one. Apparently, I still need a good fucking cry.
I think we need a second deck
Yeah, let me
or pull.
see what pops out this time.
But I like that one because I think you still need to.
Right? If I remember correctly, it flew out of the deck last time too. So
Maybe we both do.
one of our listeners might need a good ugly cry.
Do it.
All right. Get that ugly cry on, let it out.
I'm going to be muting on and off.
Well, I think we got a new one. So this one says, you are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
a little
you
better,
are.
a little different. So, yeah. Maybe that's why you're feeling down and drained. You don't feel loved. Well, just know you are loved. You are here for a good reason. Don't fuck it up.
That's the beautiful part about being human is we all have that like thing about us. We all have that light about us. We just have to find it sometimes. And when we can't find it, when we lose that purpose, like that's when our life starts to go sideways half the time. Is like if you have a certain purpose in mind, like me, it's sending a positive energy wave around the world. I want to get up and do the stuff I'm doing. Like I love getting up and doing this, right?
Right.
That's a
It
blast for me.
It makes it difficult to get up every day when you have no desires, no passions, no dreams, nothing to shoot for or work towards. When you're just doing that mundane, dead end job, it gets old after a minute and you lose desire to want to do anything. So yeah, you definitely got to find something you're passionate about and keep that passion alive.
Well, and that's like we were just talking about with the hard workers of America specifically. I know they're all over the world, but I'm more talking about the American worker who works 70, 80 hours and doesn't take any time for themselves, isn't able to learn anything that they want and grow in the way that they want and shine the way that they want. And that sucks. And I think that that needs to change in this world. And it's possible to change that in this world. A lot of things are being changed over to electronics, mechanics anyway. So it's going to happen anyway. So what do you want to do about it? It's the next question. And that is start to find a new skill, start to find that passion, that drive, that thing that will excite you to get up in the morning and go after it.
Right. Or we could adapt Italy's work method. You work 3-4 hours in the morning, you take a 3-hour lunch, you work a couple hours in the evening, and then you're done for the day. How great is that? You get to see your family, you get to enjoy time with them, you don't work till you're dead. Like I remember working in factories that got to like 120 degrees inside, and there's times where you had to have extra clothes because you'd sweat so bad you'd want fresh clothes to put on, or you just want to leave. I remember working jobs where I wanted to leave by 10 a.m. because by the time I got to the job at 5 a.m., start working at 5:30 or, quarter after, whatever, and you're sweating your ass off, and by 10, 11 o'clock, you're like, yep, I'm done. I want to go home. It's terrible.
Yeah. My father-in-law, he works in a bread factory. He's an engineer, so he fixes all the stuff. And he's like those other workers, like I was talking about. They just keep going, and they just don't stop. And it's just like crazy. Like as soon as like I have my way with what I'm building, like in the background here between this and NG and other things, like I'm gonna make sure that these people are taken care of, at least that are close to me, because that's like straight ridiculous.
Well, it'd be great if we could just shift the mindset of the country to where you don't have to be a working slave. You don't have to give up your entire life to make somebody else rich. Like, I don't mind working for another person, but when you're taking everything I have no time with my family, no time with my children, no time to work on my favorite projects, no time to fix my house, no time to even do house chores. You know how depressing it is when you've got, mental issues like I have. I can't stand a totally filthy house. It messes with me mentally. So when I work those 120-hour work weeks, which I have done before, and I'd come home, there's no time to clean. I've got 5 hours to sleep. I gotta get up, get myself ready, and get back to work. I remember working days where not days, but I remember working months at a time where I was at work at 3:30 and I was leaving work at 9:30 at night, and I'd be back at the shop, bright and early the next morning. I think I was doing 90 or 100-hour work weeks at that company. And I was driving about an hour one way. So 2 hours in the truck, 18 hours at the shop. I don't know, 16, 18 something. I don't know. It was a while ago, and I'm not that young no more.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we are getting into a different mindset here and conscious level to be able to create that. I think that to get unstuck and untired requires some work, and people have to be willing to step into that work though, and they have to have that expectation that, hey, you're going to learn every day. And then once you're able to get into that and love to learn, like I think that was a big transition in my head, was loving to learn the process, loving to learn the daily habits. We'll see how that goes, but it seems to be working pretty well so far, and the compound effects just building.
hmm That was a good book too. The compound effect. But yeah, for me, it was changing my mindset to I don't have to be a hard laborer to earn an income. It's something I can do. I can still use my knowledge to do things for sure. But knowing that that's not the only way out there was something difficult to recognize or realize. And it took years for me to actually comprehend that skilled trades may be great to do and all that, but it's not the only thing out there that you can do. So those that love working with their hands like I do, that's great. Do a skilled trade, but don't do it to your death. Have something at home. Have a 40-hour job and go home and do something that's your passion that you can turn around and turn into an income. So you don't have to work those 80-hour weeks. You can spend time with your family, and so you can spend time sitting on the back patio enjoying a beer and a bonfire, on a Thursday night instead of waiting for the weekend to come. Having that freedom to choose what you want to do in life is an amazing thing.
Right. And imagine, like, I can imagine people just living off their passion and like not having to work at something they hate. Like, I absolutely despise the corporate world. Like, I was never good at it. I'm not an employee. Like, I never have been, and that's an okay thing for me because I recognize that within myself, and there's a reason why. Uh, I I like to do. I'm a creative being, so if you're an artist or creative being, you're my people. Like I love to create and love to dive into that inner world and then share it with the external world, which is part of the great part of this experience that we call life, is being able to share our different perspectives around the world, regardless of how we share that. And I wish that more people could get on board with that, but it's so new. It's such a new thought process, I think, that a lot of people still haven't even, like, they're not even aware. It's unconscious incompetence.
Right. Right. Yeah, we're too programmed to think that there's only one way to do things, and there's many ways. And it's learning that there's many ways and finding the way that works best for you and what brings you the most happiness while doing it. I mean, we're not meant to be miserable on this planet. We're meant to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, even like things like the theory of five that I'm running right now, and we're working on building coaches for the author and figure out how to bring that message to the world right now, right? So part of that is he's working through it with us, and he wants, like, even like on like even he's working on things too. And he seems to have it all made, but he's just like, he's still working on his own personal life and working on his stuff and always learning and always growing. That's what I love about the guy. That's why I wanted to be able to work with him on it, on this project, to bring it into the global platform with NG, because it's such an important concept to work on all these areas, and those areas you're always going to be working on, because we should all be working on all the areas of our life our entire life. And if you're not, and you're static and you sit on your laurels or whatever they called it, what was it called, sitting on your
Laurels?
is it
Laurels? I think it is.
it might be
Not a term I use often.
and not me either. That's why it just kind of came to my head. I was like, oh, that's a neat one. This is how my brain works, folks. Sorry. So I think that once you get to that comfort state, that gets dangerous. Like when you're too comfortable, like you don't want anything to change because it's going like this way or that way, and you just feel really good every day. But the problem is that once that happens, it starts to go on that downer of your life, and you're like, oh crap, now what do I do? Because then you get bored, you get irritated, you start to do things, you start to lash out about the people around you, regardless of how you do that. Everyone has their own methods. Sometimes it's just being angry at yourself. Sometimes it's being tired. You know, it's a lot of things. You'll know when you get to it though, but you'll be bored. And that boredom can cause wreak havoc in that tired realm. For sure, it can push you down so hard. It's catabolic energy, it's sucking you in. Whereas we need anabolic energy to expand. So how do you get to that state? It's through these energy shifts that we've been talking about, through like you use stones and that kind of thing. I am still learning about that myself. I use meditation. You use meditation. We use moving the body or whatnot is a good way when you can. And if you can't, then you have to find other methods like Joe here. And I think that finding those methods is one part of the awareness that will help you to create the times where you can wake yourself up and be like, oh, maybe I do need to turn on and start moving. I think it's cool that we have the choice.
Actually, I think I'm going to do a little breath work when this when our podcast is up, so I can really get my energy moving, get that blood flowing. That's something else that I slipped my mind. I love breath work, but hey, I forgot about it this morning. We all have those moments, but yeah, definitely. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of breath work, and that should definitely prepare myself for my next call.
That's smart. Yep. Know what you got to do to get there. So breathwork's another one. So we've given you multiple ways that you could increase your energy if you're feeling down. Get into that purpose that you want to be following in life, like truly, because that you only have so much time, guys. Like, go after it. I love you all, and this is Positive Waves. I'm Matthew Collinson.
I'm Joseph Somma.
Have a wonderful day.